What's up, everyone? Global Karen here. I'm gonna be doing a reaction to I forgot how you pronounce his name, but I watched like three of his ranked videos of different different movies and stuff. But this is Blue Sky now. Blue Sky, I looked up Blue Sky. Blue Sky do not have a lot of movies. Blue Sky only got like 13 movies. And that's it's not a problem, but they you could tell they do not make a lot of movies. I don't know. Don't have a lot of creators to make a lot of movies, but most of their movies are Ice Age movies. Because Ice Age got like what 5 movies. So let's get into this video. It took me so I don't know why it took me so long to do this video. I think it's because I want to wait a while to react to this video so you can have like a lot of people watching his channel and everything. But if you want to watch the original creator's video, go to the description below to react to his video first, then come to mine. But I hope y'all enjoy this video and let's get started.
This is provided by Squarespace, the sponsor of today's video. From websites and online stores to marketing tools and analytics, Squarespace is the all-in-one platform to build a beautiful online presence and run your business. Blue Sky is a studio that exists.
Yeah.
Or, it did. I've gotten a lot
Wait,
of
what?
requests to take
Wait, I need to
studio
go back.
that exists. Or
Wait, does exist anymore? Wait, what? Who bought Blue Sky? So it shut down last year. Okay, shut down last year because of COVID. That's why. Okay, that's why they don't make a lot of movies because I didn't know they shut down. That's a shame. Okay, it's a parent is Walt Disney. So you tell me Disney owns Blue Sky. Or okay, now it ceased all operation on April 10th, 2021. So they don't exist no more. That's very interesting that they don't exist no more. That's a shame because the problem is that they kept making too many Ice Age movies. They've been milking it so long that people got sick and tired of it. They made a couple of good movies, but not a lot of them. That's their biggest issue.
it did. I've gotten a lot of requests to take a look at this studio in particular, and since they only made 13 films,
Yeah.
I figured it would be easy to make a
That
video
last
on
film
them
was that
without
spy
them
movie that I never seen.
Respect for the dead. Yeah, I'm gonna be upfront. If you're a die-hard fan of this studio and its output, I don't think this is the video for you because I have practically no reverence for Blue Sky Studios, and I do not miss them now that they've been shut down by Disney as part of the Fox merger. It's not like
Okay,
dude.
So Fox, so Disney did bomb
about them or anything they've made, be it positive or negative. Except Big Well. The movie at the bottom of this list isn't something I vitriolically hate, nor is the movie at the top of the list something I genuinely love. As such, I am
the worst movie out of all of them is the last Ice Age movie. That's the worst Ice Age movie I ever seen in my life.
Different to the loss of this studio.
Okay, it just fucks with everything. I did the best. I did the good movie. The best movie out of them must be the Peanut movie, the Charlie Brown movie, maybe Robots and Horn Hears the Who.
Undeniably talented.
Maybe one of the Ice Age movies.
I sincerely hope they can find more work.
But it was a big problem with Blue Sky.
Different to Blue Sky's closure doesn't mean I actively wanted them to go out of business. I mean, they were harmless.
I never seen this movie from John Cena. I never seen the two last movies. That's the thing.
They just kind of did their own thing in the corner, and I just kind of ignored them for most of my adult life. It's not like I had to get force-fed the mini sloths from Ice Age 2 in the same way the Minions poisoned so much of what I hold.
Oh yeah.
So whatever. Let's talk about Blue Sky and their aggressively mediocre lineup that I have no strong opinions on. I did this for you, Big Weld, my sweet, sweet prince. Disappointment in the game of life. Ice Age.
I knew it. This movie gonna be number one. This movie is just bad. It was just a bad movie because in this one they say that I just don't remember this movie. You know what? I don't remember this movie. This movie is just awful. It was just bad. I just don't remember it.
Five. Do you hear me? Five. They made five of these.
Five of them, five movies, and this one is the worst one.
It was
You talk about Shrek. Yeah, Shrek the third was bad, but it wasn't worse than these four movies than these than ice this last Ice Age movie, Collision Course. And you can't compare Ice Age Collision Course to the third Shrek. You rather watch the third Shrek than Collision Course. Collision Course was just a bad movie overall.
five of any of their franchises. Not even Shrek. How does a studio only make 13 movies and 5 of them are Ice Age? What a sick joke! You'd be hard pressed to find any animated franchise that's nearly as creatively bankrupt as this one.
Yeah.
Despicable Me may be approaching 5 movies, and most of them may be terrible.
Oh,
At
yeah.
least 2 of those are just filling in backstory and not desperately trying to prolong a story that has absolutely no business continuing.
Yeah, it has no business. No business at all. It's just to keep continuing the story. The first movie, you could say the first movie. I don't know how they decided to make 5 movies with just the first movie. I don't know how. 'Cause even the first movie, no, I want to say you could say the second movie. The second movie, just it. That's it. You just ended with the second movie. Second movie, that's it. But no, they want to keep milking the franchise. They just kept making 3 movies.
The most offensively bad thing about Ice Age 5 is not any of its content, but just simply the facts that it exists at all. Because, like, there's nothing to talk about here. It doesn't make me angry like your Earwigs or your Cars 2s. It's just so boring.
Yes.
All of these movies are about the characters taking a journey somewhere, making their way through dangerous septies.
Yes, it's just like the other. It's just like the other ones. It's just like the other ones. It's just a boring movie. I don't know why I hated this movie because I don't remember it like everyone else. But it's not worse than fucking Cars. Cars 2, because Cars 2 was insulting.
And eventually getting where they need to go and saving the day. Yay! In this one, Sprat finds a fucking UFO, which was technically set up as a background gag in the first Ice Age movie, which means they clearly planned this whole series out ahead of time. Oh my god, great work, Blue Sky! Thanks for tying the entire Ice Age saga together by doing this. Buck returns, which is kind of nice because he's pretty epic. But he also
now they made a TV series about Buck.
Kind of drives the entire plot, leading the group and coming up with a plan. There's also these good dinosaur-ass villains who are chasing him and trying to prevent him from preventing the apocalypse because they're stupid. So the villains only have beef with him, and he's basically in charge of everything. So what does that mean the other characters get to do? Oh, nothing. Thanks for asking.
Because this is technically a Buck movie. If I see after hearing what you're saying, this must be just a regular Buck movie. I think this because they made a TV show about Buck. So this movie and the TV show is just about Buck. They just do not care about these other characters no more, even though they the ones that starved the series.
Diego and his girlfriend, whose name I don't know, are upset that kids are scared of them.
I forgot her name. I know it starts with S.
There is one scene at the beginning to establish this, and then it's never brought up again until the end of the movie, where the kids are suddenly not scared of them because they help save the world. Wow, what a great and well-developed plot line. Honestly, I completely forgot the Lady Tiger was even in this movie until I saw her again at the end and was like, oh yeah, she exists. Cool. Sid does nothing until they get to this magic place with a bunch of animals who are old, but use magic power crystals to be young. And the lady sloth likes him, but then he accidentally ruins the crystals and turns them all old. And the voice actors don't even try to sound old. They just have the exact same voices. Cool, good job. Manny is obnoxious and out of character because he doesn't like his daughter's fiance.
Because that's I don't know, they even fuck Manny up. I like Manny until like even the last movie. I got sick and tired of Manny, and I like Manny as a character. I think the first one I liked him. The second one is that he is trying to get her, but he don't. The thing is that he just doesn't know how to talk to females in his kind.
It's fun because that means we got even more cliches. My favorite. It really is amazing how they do every cliche imaginable with the daughter character in these movies. Like, I think she deserves a medal for most cliche character of all time. Even the Scratch shit is just tired and boring at this point.
Yeah, it got so tiresome and boring because they got sick and tired of him just destroying everything. That's how bad this was.
Can go off. They took a relatively grounded and laid-back first film and turned it into this obnoxious farce of a franchise. I am so burnt out from watching these movies that I never want to see any of them again. Fortunately,
I always watch the second one. I don't know why I watched the second one. I think I just like the second one, but I just don't want to watch the other ones. That's all. Because like you said, you got so burned out watching 5 of these movies. At least you Shrek. You got Shrek 1 that's enjoyable. You got Shrek 2 that's really good. Third was bad, but third was just bad. But I still watched the third one, even though it was just astronomically just bad, but it had parts in it I liked. The fourth movie was good. I actually liked the fourth Shrek movie. But these movies and Ice Age are not good, boring, and they just destroyed the first Shrek movie.
This is a franchise that has had practically zero cultural impact, despite having 5 movies that raked in billions of dollars at the box office.
Yeah.
Nobody talks about Ice Age except when they say how much they want to kill the baby for some reason. No one gives a shit about these movies, and I couldn't be happier about that. Just put these animals out of their misery already. They deserve to go.
I don't know why they keep trying to make them so culture to the media, because modern people who grew up with movies like Ice Age, do not give a shit about Ice Age. This is how it is. People like Shrek because Shrek was good, but Ice Age was in that movie that a lot.
Thank you, bye. Also, don't even come at me in the comments saying I missed the Buck Wild movie. That wasn't Blue Sky. They're dead now. That was some other shitty studio. I don't have to watch it. Fuck you.
This is the most obnoxious thing I've ever experienced in my life.
One day, without any prompting, William randomly showed up to my house, gave me the Blu-ray for Epic.
Oh yeah, that's another movie I never seen. I never seen Epic. I never seen this movie.
Seen Epic, nor did I want to, so I had practically no use for this thing. Though we did put it in the background of the Tamatoa video as a joke. Well, the good news is, thanks to this ranking, I finally have a use for this thing. Let's pop it in and give it a watch.
2 hours later.
What the hell?
Is Epic that bad? Let me look at something real quick. Let me spell Epic. So it came out in 2013. Letterboxd gave it a 2.7, but IMDb gave it a 6.6. Sometimes you can't really trust IMDb and Rotten Tomatoes most of the time. It's just that and how you feel about the movie.
What was that? You know, I've heard a ton of people say that Epic gives them Studio Ghibli vibes. And you know what? After watching it, they're totally right. This was just like Tales from Earthsea. I cannot express enough how thoroughly generic and forgettable this movie was. There's just so little to talk about with it. The main character has no character traits, and she's kind of a huge dumbass, and all the other characters are really boring. There's a slug and a snail who serve as cringeworthy, terrible comic relief. They were never funny. I don't even remember their names. I don't remember.
I don't even know nothing about this movie. That's the thing.
The stakes feel extremely low, mainly because of how vague and poorly elaborated on the world building is.
And this one, I think the girl shrunk down, and now she's with these people. I think they in a war or something. I don't know.
Need to protect this pod. Except at one point they leave it with the incompetent comic relief slug and snail without any supervision whatsoever in the middle of this crowded party where it could easily be stolen. And then it is. What could be
so? Why y'all gave it to 2 comic relief characters and get it stolen? It makes no sense.
Important to this one serious dude than personally guarding the pod that was the last remnant of his dead lover Beyonce. What was he thinking? Who gives a shit? Why is this movie even called Epic when nothing epic happens in it? I guess it's nice that Blue Sky tried something wildly different from their usual output. Like, this is a lot more serious and has some pretty unique character designs and a new art style that's actually not too bad. But none of these things can save the fact that this is the most generic trite they could have possibly put out. Once again, not infuriating, but an experience I got nothing out of whatsoever. you, William. I'm gonna leave a Blu-ray copy of The Good Dinosaur in your mailbox when I get a chance.
It seems today that all you see is violence.
Number
movies,
11.
Sex on
He
TV.
has to be.
Ice Age 4.
Yeah, I should have known. Continental Drift was going to be the next one. I should have known. I thought it was going to be Ferdinand, that movie, because I never seen it. But I put in Ice Age Collision Court. Not Collision. Continental Drift. Continental Drift was not. It wasn't worse than the film movie, but this one was still not good at all.
This is the first one of these movies that absolutely should not have been made. You could argue the second and third ones shouldn't have been made as well.
Yeah, you can say all the other. The only movie that should be made is the first movie, but the other 4 should not be made. You can say something about the second. You can say something about the second movie. You can say something about that one. Can you say, okay, Manny is try to find his people, or is give him a waifu. I get that, but you can say a lot about Dawn of the Dinosaurs that it should not be made. You can say something about that.
They come together with the first one to form a perfectly mediocre trilogy.
The thing about Continental Drift is that the squirrel is fucking over the planet. Now the whole continent is breaking apart to become the continent that like we know now. Now everybody had to travel and go to other places.
No reason to continue past the end of the third one, and it shows.
What's up, my man?
In this wacky and completely necessary new adventure, Scrat becomes God himself and begins terraforming the entire planet.
Yeah.
Also, Manny is Jesus, I think. I'm pretty sure that's what this line implies.
When exactly will I be allowed to hang out with boys?
When I'm dead. Plus 3 days. Just to make sure I'm dead.
His daughter is a teenager now.
Yeah.
This is cool because that means they can do literally every single teenage cliche ever in one movie.
Yes. I did know one Ice Age movie talking about him that want his daughter to be near people. It's just like it's one of those cliches that I do not care about. I get like in real life. It's a thing, but people sometimes you just don't want to see it in these movies and TV shows because it became so much of a cliche that you seen this a whole bunch of times.
They deadass have an exchange that's just 10 different cliche lines, one after the other.
Yeah.
How nice. There's an inexplicable Josh Gad mole that comes out of nowhere and is considered important by the end for some reason. He does not return for the 5th movie, so
yeah, because he didn't return the film movie because he's supposed to be because he likes her, but they never bought him back, and because in this one they were trying to imply that this Bashmore and her gonna be a couple, but it never happened because the film movie.
what does that tell you? There's a bunch of pirates, and I guess the Peter Dinklage monkey is like the first passable villain in the franchise. Like he's mildly entertaining and has a surprisingly decent villain song and kind of a cool fight towards the end. I don't know. I was kind of dozing off at that point. So I like when Scrag gets seduced by the nuts because that was funny. I like how they introduce a female tiger for Diego to be in love with because they ran out of things to do with him. So
they really did ran out of things to do with Diego. They really did. Because the first movie, Diego was in a group who they were saber-tooth tigers, so they just going out and it's just killing things. That's what Diego was doing. The second movie, Diego couldn't catch a deer because he lost his touch, and he couldn't swim, so that's what his character was. Diego in all these movies do not have nothing going on with him. He's just there just to be there. No, it's the first movie you get why he's there, but the other movies, why he's in the series at all.
Just figured, oh, we gotta throw him in a passionless, chemistry-less, boring-ass hetero romance. Why not? Do it,
Yeah.
hetero. Sid's grandma shows up because I guess they just wanted Wanda Sykes in the movie, so they just invented a character for her to play. Drake and Nicki Minaj are in this movie.
Yeah. I try to see which one Nicki Minaj. I forgot Nicki Minaj was in this fucking movie. I think this one Nicki Minaj or this one. I don't know.
And Nicki Minaj are in this movie. Yeah, seriously. I didn't bother looking up who they played, and I couldn't really tell, because who gives a shit? How come Nick Frost is in this one when Simon Pegg isn't? I feel like that's illegal. I also feel like Manny was way too much of a jovial dumbass in this one. He's so far away from his original personality at this point.
Yes, they took away his personality. You know, he was a serious person, like in the first movie, but now they just made him like a comic relief guy.
Funny if I had any sort of investment in him as a character, but I don't anymore. This movie is genuinely intolerable and extremely boring at the same time. I'm not even sure what else I can possibly talk about at this point. It's just such a nothing installment in an increasingly nothing franchise made by a somewhat nothing studio. There aren't even nearly as many penis jokes in this one as there are in the third one, so what's the point? Oh wait, I'm getting ahead of myself, sorry.
Horton hears domestic violence
Number 10.
and doesn't call 911.
You know what's weird? I don't remember Horton Hears a Who being this bad. Everyone always calls this the best Dr. Seuss film adaptation.
I actually kind of a little bit like. I actually like Horror History. I always wonder why I like this movie, because there are better Dr. Seuss book adaptations. I'm not saying that the Grish adaptation that came out before was good, because it was not good. Because one, I haven't seen it, but I heard it wasn't good. The live action one of the Grinch was good, but it was one of the movies that I grew up with that I seen. I had seen this movie in a very long time, and I grew up with this movie, so I had like a little bit of love with it, and I had nothing else to watch, so I just been watching Horror History Who a lot.
And the sad thing is, that's probably true. It's also like a 4 out of 10 movie. Dude, this was kind of painful. Like, Jim Carrey and Steve Carell both were shockingly unfunny and whatever in this. They straight up invented a pointless new character for Seth Rogen to play that could have been removed from the film.
I forgot Seth Rogen was in this movie. He's just this character is just there just to warn. He's just Horn's friend, and he warns Horn about what's about to happen to him.
This vulture villain is tasked with stealing Horton's clover, and he says he's gonna eat it, but then he doesn't eat it when he has it. He just dropped it in the big clover.
It makes no sense.
Why did he not just eat it like he said he would? Why is there so
a thing about this movie is that this kangaroo female lady got sick and tired of Horn shit, because he telling kids about this clover leaf that he hears people inside the clover, but a lot of people didn't believe him. Even she didn't believe him. She because she got a kid too, so Horn was fucking with her son's mind, so she just want to get rid of this clover, so she hired this vulture guy to just kidnap the clover and just throw it somewhere or eat it.
Did he not just eat it like
until in the ending on the movie they the Horn and the I forgot what you called them inside the clover, that actually they used sound to break the clover thing, the barrier, and a lot of people hear what they're saying.
Why is there so much boring slapstick filler in both the jungle and
Cause it is slapstick filler. Yeah, because most of this movie is just filler. It's just this character. He's talking to Horn, but he's not trying to tell people what he's doing.
And Whoville. Why set up this council in Whoville who doesn't believe the mayor that Horton exists?
Yes.
They don't have a scene where they realize they're wrong. Why is the mayor's son emo in this? And why is he voiced by Jesse McCartney? He has like 5 lines in the whole movie. What was the point?
It's just the dude trying to help his son, but the son doesn't talk, and the son is just doing his thing. That's all.
He doesn't even sing. On the Dr. Seuss wiki, I found out that for some reason, it says that JoJo's singing line was delivered by Fletcher Sheridan, who also played Cy, the O'Hare delivery guy in The Lorax, which is a good metaphor for how much I wish this movie was more like The Lorax.
It should have been almost like The Lorax, even though I've never seen The Lorax.
The Lorax at least had Danny DeVito and funny Tumblr sexy man and actual decent songs. Why did they break out into a random pop song at the end?
Oh yeah, I forgot they did that.
Why are there so many pop culture references? Why is there a cringeworthy anime
I forgot they did this. Oh boy.
That's what I wanted more of in this movie. Cringe. It was the only way to salvage it because clearly Dr. Seuss movies are not meant to be stretched into 90-minute films. They always gotta have terrible bullshit filler.
Because they not supposed to be movies. Let's all be real right here. These movies should not be real long movies. They shouldn't. They should not be real long movies. Because in the books was like what 10 minute books, or you read super fast, you can just finish it in like 5 minutes. But the problem is with these movies, they try to put filler in it that should not be there. And we all know the story about inside these movies. The worst of the Dr. Seuss movie series is Cat in the Hat. Cat in the Hat was the worst one out of them all.
Pointless celebrities and ultimately be extremely boring and tedious. Then again, maybe I should be grateful this movie isn't too cringy, because if this movie was released nowadays, they absolutely would have named the sour kangaroo.
Oh yeah.
And I don't
Yeah, they would just call her Karen.
That much pure, unadulterated cringe in my face. Sorry. There's only one piece of value I derived from
If a lot of people seen this movie today, if it came out today, a lot of people would not like this movie. I would not like it either.
And that is our Lord and Savior, Yummo Wickersham. Praise be to him. Yeah, I don't know why, but a few months ago, my friend group started obsessing over Yummo Wickersham as a meme. I don't get it, but like, who am I to question memes? So yes, thank you, Yummo Wickersham, for blessing us by sticking a bajillion bananas in your mouth hole. Thank you for having approximately the same amount of lines as Jesse McCartney, yet graciously foregoing top billing in this movie because you did this for the art, not the recognition. Thank you, Dan Fogler, for bringing this simian saint to life. I would walk the length of the world to get Yummo back in my life. Please, Disney, let Blue Sky come back to deliver us one final swan song, the Yummo Wickersham origin story. We need to know the full history of this glorious, magnificent creature. Okay, guys, I hope that was good. Now time to forget about Yummo and go back to making Gargamel memes instead. And his name is John C.
There's something on.
So I heard Ferdinand was one of the better Blue Sky movies, which I think was a reasonable assumption since the poster looked pretty.
Yeah, I had never seen Ferdinand. I heard some people did not like this movie. Some people liked it. I don't really know.
And potentially emotional.
Am I gonna watch it? Maybe never. Not because I don't want to watch it. It's that I barely watch movies and TV shows nowadays. I'd be on YouTube so long. It's just listen to just regular videos. It's just listen to politics for some reason. Even though I'm not a politic type of guy.
Not that this really means
I just got just want to listen to random things or listen to the same stuff.
Blue Sky movies to do so alongside Ice Age 1. It also garnered this nomination the same year The Boss Baby did. So yeah, no, this practically means nothing. Ferdinand is ass. It's such a generic, boring children's movie filled with a ton of cliches, and it never once emotionally moved me, nor did it ever make me laugh. Ferdinand is a clumsy big guy who screws things up because he's clumsy and he accidentally destroys an entire town. So now he's sent back to the Bull Ranch place that he grew up on and escaped from. And then he just kind of vibes there for an hour with these other generic, annoying bulls. It takes him forever to try and escape and get home, which clearly should have been the focus of the movie. But nah, first we gotta have an epic out-of-nowhere dance-off with these German horses. And guess what? They dab! Hey yo, best
Oh my god, they
ahoy, baby! People were paid to animate this. Real live people. They brought this image into this world, and there's nothing as a society
but why though?
that we can do about it.
Look at what you've done. Now the animators are going to have to draw all this fire.
Yeah, I thought this movie really stunk for most of its runtime, but honestly, there's this chase scene in the third act that was kind of fun and kind of got me invested. Plus, I liked the scene where he actually does bullfight. It was pretty well done, all things considered. The China shop scene was cute too, and I also think John Cena was pretty good as the titular Ferdinand von Iger. I am of the opinion that he's a surprisingly good actor, actually, and his vocal performance fit the character well. Everyone else was forgettable. I'm never going to think about this movie again, but it's comforting.
Because the only character you only know is this character because of John Cena. That's all.
Brought this abomination received ample compensation for the dark, dark deeds they were required to perform.
What killed the
Number 8.
dinosaurs? The Ice Age.
Ice Age 3, Dawn of Who Gives a Shit. There are a lot of penis references in this one.
Yeah.
Like, a lot. It's the only joke that...
When I was a kid, I did not like this movie. I don't know why. I think it's because of Sid. It had nothing for Sid. So Sid just kidnapped this T-Rex babies, so he can just take care of them as his kids. It made no sense. Because I did not like Sid in this movie for some reason. Because he just took someone's kids. I always watch this part. I always see this part. I'm like, why you kidnap someone's kids? Buck, I actually like Buck as a character when they introduced Buck because he was a good character in this film. Manny is in this one. Manny having his kid, the daughter character, but she wasn't born yet. She was about to be born. I forgot what Diego was doing. I think Diego was there just to protect the wife character. That's it.
It's extremely tiring. Surprise, surprise. There's no better example of sheer agony than watching the beginning of this movie and realizing, holy shit, I'm currently not even halfway done with this franchise. I can't believe we as a species let Ice Age happen. This one in particular has really bad pacing. Like, it takes 30 minutes to get down to the dinosaur world because first Sid's gotta meander around with his dinosaur kids and act like a supreme dumbass.
Yeah.
When the dinosaur mom comes to get her kids back, Sid refuses to hand them over. I, for one, love it when a main character is completely stupid and...
Yes, I hated this movie because it made him... I get Sid's supposed to be stupid, but not this retarded. I ain't want Sid to be so retarded in this movie.
Wrong, like not even partially correct, just 100% wrong and absolutely deserving of getting kidnapped by this dinosaur.
Yes, because he deserves it. He just kidnapped someone's kids and making it as his own.
At one point, Diego sees the dinosaur carry off Sid, and his reaction is so hilariously nonchalant. Like, yeah, it's no big deal. He sees dinosaurs all the time, apparently. Oh yeah, Diego's sad in this movie because he wants to leave the herd because Manny and Ellie are having a baby.
Oh, okay. He might as well because he does not do, like I said, he does not do anything in these movies. He doesn't.
And he doesn't feel like he should be around anymore because he's a lone wolf
Manny,
guy. But wow,
Diego got nothing in these movies. Why is he there?
I hate it. Oh my god, I don't give a shit. I forgot they were even having a baby throughout the middle chunk of this movie, honestly. It's such a non-factor in the plot, which is at least something Shrek the Third attempted.
At least Shrek the Third attempted it, but this movie, at least, because in at least Shrek the Third, you learned, because in the beginning of the movie, I think like 10, 15 minutes in the movie of Shrek the Third, Fiona told Shrek that they having kids, and the whole movie is just that Shrek has to accept that he has kids. He has to love them, because that's why they bought the Arthur character there, because Arthur is like a teenager and he saw how he is and everything else.
Very, very badly, but at least there was an attempt.
Yeah, at least they tried to attempt it.
I like the Simon Pegg weasel they introduced in this movie. His writing isn't that great, but I think the voice acting really sells it, and it makes me kind of enjoy this character. The climax is kind of cool and well executed, at least the first one. Yeah, this movie has 2 climaxes for some reason, and I don't know why. They could have just combined the 2, but whatever. Scrat fights Lady Scrat, and I don't know, it's kind of funny to see him eventually.
I'm surprised they never brought her back in these other movies. They never brought her back.
Fall in love with her only to have an affair with his precious nut. Yeah, I think that's all I liked. This movie is boring. It makes dinosaurs boring somehow, and they should have just ended Ice Age here. But of course they didn't, because we were all put on this.
They should have ended Ice Age with the second movie. Number 7. Okay, to Brazil.
Rio 1, set in the marvelous city.
I'm surprised he likes. I've never seen Rio 2. That's the thing. I've never seen Rio 2. If I seen Rio 2, I would have said Rio 2 was better than this one, but I never seen it.
Land of sun and heat, This one's for all you Brazilian viewers out there, which my channel has a ton of for whatever reason. Love you guys! This movie makes your country look really cool and vibrant and alive. And basically the exact opposite of what you guys say it's really like whenever you talk to us on the streams on Chris's channel. By the way, if you ever want to talk to me or ask me anything, the best way to do it is on Chris's channel when we stream every Sunday and Monday, link in the description. Yeah, this movie is kind of one big love letter to Brazil, and I think that's neat. There's a clear passion behind the animation and the direction here, and that kind of...
Because the movie is about this I forgot Rio, because that's the name Rio, because the movie is about him. So this movie's about this character. He can't fly, but I think because not the wife character, the female character took care of him when he was like a baby, because he got kidnapped when he was a baby. So this dude person wants him to mate with this female character to have kids, so they can bring back because they were about to be extinct, so he wants to rebirth their people, the animal kingdom. I don't know what you call it, that species.
It makes up for the lack of it.
But the movie says him cannot fly. He tried to date her, but she don't want to date him. But now they are stuck together through the whole movie because they changed up.
Interesting story or characters, but not fully. I don't know. This definitely isn't the worst animated movie out there, but it is really standard for the most part. I think Jesse Eisenberg was a really weird choice to play this McCall. Like, his voice acting isn't funny or charming. It's just kind of blah. I don't know. He's never really been able to sell me on any of his performances post-Social Network, and it's no different here. Plus, he absolutely has no chemistry with Anne Hathaway Bird, which is due in equal parts to the voice acting and the writing. Spoiler for later in the list, I guess, but I saw no reason why Manny and Ellie should have hooked up in Ice Age 2 outside of the need to preserve their species.
Yeah, because you found out in the ending of the second movie of Meltdown, their species came back.
Kind of exacerbated here because they mentioned...
You found out that the species was behind this fucking ice this whole time, but the ice and the water was in the way.
To preserve their species thing even less. And they make even less sense as a romantic pairing.
Yeah.
I have no idea what Mark Zuckerberg did to get Anne Hathaway to fall for him. She just kind of does at some point.
Yeah, because they were dancing.
Movie, we gotta have a hetero love. Gotta check off every box in the checklist. Thank you very much. Hell, we actually have 2 hetero loves. I forgot about these humans falling in love, which I guess makes more sense because they're both extreme bird lovers. But that's not actually why they fall in love. They fall in love because they see each other in sexy bird outfits during the last 20 minutes of the movie. That's cool. Very well written. Very well developed romance. Thank you for that. And okay, let's get this one out of the way. Everyone always tells me, ooh, you gotta talk about the main villain in Rio. He's voiced by Jermaine Clement, the Tomato Tomba guy. I'm gonna be real with you, Chief. I don't think he's doing that good a job in this movie. He's serviceable most of the time, but he honestly sounds kind of bored during some line deliveries. Like, you can feel the comedic passion when he's voicing Tamatoa, but in this movie, he doesn't really stand out, and it just kind of feels like he's going through the motions. And his villain song sucks hard.
Oh, like, it's just bad. It's just a bad song. I forgot what he said about this song because it's been so long since I've seen Rio. But he has the worst song in the whole entire Rio movie.
I cringed so much listening to this. The singing is fine, but the melody is unspecial, and the lyrics are...
I'm a feathery freak with a beak, a bird murderer. You think you're better than me? I never heard of you.
So
also,
bad.
Just in general, I don't remember a single other thing this villain did.
Because I'm like, what he doing? He's rapping? It's like, no, it was bad.
In the song, and I just watched the movie. Hell,
I don't even listen to rap, and I don't know what he was doing. He was rapping or singing. It was bad.
Fine, but forgettable, which I guess I'll take over some of the other shit Blue Sky has spewed out.
Mario,
Number 6.
you are going to Brazil.
Rio 2 was not as good as the first.
Hey, wait a minute.
Yeah, I don't know why, but even though this was kind of an objectively less competent movie than Rio 1, I weirdly had more fun with it and wasn't really bored.
I love how you said I didn't like it, but I had more fun with it than the first one.
It's like the Spider-Man 3 thing all over.
Oh, yeah. Because Spider-Man 3 was bad, but the memes of it is just funny.
Sometimes I just like when a movie has 5 different unrelated subplots going on at once and forgets to resolve some of them by the end.
Yeah.
And this is nowhere near the 10 out of 10 supreme comedic masterpiece that Spider-Man 3 is, don't get me wrong. I still only barely liked it better than the first film, with some of my reasons for liking it being unironic. Weirdly enough, I enjoyed the Jermaine Clement bird more in this movie. He's just allowed to be more goofy, and he plays well off of this frog voiced by Kristen Chenoweth for some reason. Haha, my Broadway-loving brain go burr, I really like that. On that subject, I like the musical number scenes a lot better in this one. And I also think it's kind of a neat idea to have Mark Zuckerberg try and raise his children like humans, in contrast to Anne Flyaway wanting to raise them like birds. Yeah, no, Anne Flyaway doesn't really work, I'm sorry. The medium of puns peaked with Mark Zuckerberg, and I should never try and top that, there's no point. There's a soccer game between blue and red birds in the middle of this for some reason, and I don't know, man, that's fun, I like that. Haha, soccer brain go burr. Anyway, now for the batshit ridiculous stuff. There's like 5 different villain groups in this movie.
What?
They meet Anne Hathaway's bird dad, and he's a huge asshole to Blue, and this never gets resolved by the end of the movie. But also, we have Jermaine Clement and his goons who want to kill Blue in order to get revenge for the first movie,
Yeah.
which is 100% disconnected from everything else going on, even though it's kind of the best part of the movie. But then, we have these red birds who seek to control the nuts, so they play this soccer game against the bluebirds in order to see who can grab those nuts. But then, we have this hunter villain guy who is deforesting the rainforest.
Okay, now, okay. I a little bit remember the second movie now, because I forgot it did this whole rainforest thing, to cut down the rainforest
And
thing.
he likes lollipops.
Lollipops.
I don't even know if this guy has a name. He's the main villain, and he's only on screen for like 5 minutes. It's hilarious. The humans from the first movie are back, and they contribute nothing to the plot. They're just vibing in the rainforest. And then eventually, all the birds team up to take down the evil humans and their evil machines. Even the redbirds help out, despite the fact that the soccer game that gave them control over everyone's nuts happens 10 minutes ago. Yeah, 10 minutes ago they were the antagonists, and now they're helping the good guys, and their conflict with said good guys is never actually resolved. As far as we know by the end of the movie, they still have full control over every single nut in the Amazon. Also, apparently, Mark Zuckerberg and his family are now staying in the Amazon with all the other bluebirds, which means he's leaving his human mom behind. And the
Yeah.
emotional scene where they say goodbye to each other after all this time is just so
You know
touching.
what? I kind of remember the second movie. I ain't seen it for a long time. I think I only remember the ending.
And heartfelt.
Cause did the bird villain do joint stay with them to become a good person? I don't remember.
Oh wait, that scene doesn't exist. Nah, we didn't have time to wrap up any of this movie's plot lines or character interactions or have any emotional moments because we had to get to the dance party at the end. How could we not? Oh wait, no. The dance party is thematically appropriate because the side characters from the previous movie were actually here scouting for talent in the Amazon, which is why they get a scene where they hold auditions and this one animal sings Memory from Cats? Haha, musical theater brain go burp. And then there's an ostrich that dances the apple bottom jeans, baby. Woo! Yeah, boots with the fur. I think Rio 2 might have broken my brain. Like, morally, I know in my heart that I shouldn't rank it this high. It might just have the worst story out of any Blue Sky movie, and it's not like the characters.
At least the first one at least has story. At least.
But man, I don't know. I didn't hate anything about it, like basically everything else we talked about in this list so far. I just found its shortcomings funny. I like some stuff unironically, and in general, I think it's a pretty mid movie that I will likely forget about after posting.
Oh yeah, we all gonna
So
forget
all in
about
all, one of the
these
better Blue Sky
movies.
Alright, that's enough cringe for right now. Let's take a break and talk about websites. You know, if the Rio 2 Sidebirds had just advertised that they wanted to put a show together on their very own website, then they wouldn't have to come all the way to the dangerous Amazon jungle in order to find talent. Websites make the world go round, baby! And a great way for you to make some delightful websites is with Squarespace. Squarespace is a fantastic...
I'm gonna keep his ad here because I don't want to disrespect them. It's gonna be interesting. If y'all want to make your own website, y'all can use Squarespace and use this promo code.
Intuitive intuitive online website builder that allows you to create beautiful websites for your business or personal hobby. Present your work using Squarespace's professional portfolio designs. Display projects in customizable galleries and add password-protected pages to share private works with clients. You can even present your videos from YouTube, Vimeo, and Animoto on your Squarespace site. Add an image overlay to your video to improve your website's load speed by waiting to embed video players until playback starts. Every design automatically includes a unique mobile presence that matches the overall style of your website, so your content will look great on every device, every time. And if you don't want that, you can always disable the mobile view from Website Manager. Buying a domain from Squarespace is so simple because there are no hidden fees or price hikes. Each domain comes with an ad-free parking page and free WHOIS privacy on eligible domains. Squarespace sells over 200 top-level domains, so you can find the perfect name for your website. Choose a URL that ends in .com,
If I wanted to make a
.net,
website,
.org,
it's gonna
or
be
you can always
like
get a more specific one,
years
like .art.
years away.
If you're ready to share your passions or promote your business with
It'll
the
be
rest
years
of the world,
away
head to
until I make my own
squarespace.com for a
website.
free trial. And when you're ready to launch, go to squarespace.com/Schaffrillas to save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain.
Number 5.
If I have to talk about Ice Age for any longer, I'm going to have a meltdown. This one is fine, but even as early as the
Yeah,
second-
this one is just a fine movie. This one was all right, but it wasn't worse than the other 3. But this one was all right. The first Ice Age was decent. It wasn't the best good movie. It was like decent movie.
second installment, you can tell this franchise was running out of steam.
Yeah.
The original,
Even though it was just the second movie and it just ran out of steam. This is the second movie and no one don't want to see another Ice Age movie. The second movie. That it just shows that just make that first movie and that's it.
Annie and Diego had somewhat complex and well-developed character arcs, but in this one, their stories boil down to: will Diego get over his fear of water?
Yeah.
And will Manny f this new lady mammoth he just met?
Yeah.
Thinks she's a possum. Yeah, she was raised by possums, so she genuinely believes that she is a possum for way longer than any rational mammoth should. I think a more natural direction for the plot to have gone would be if these two annoying possum brothers were actually twist villains who brainwashed Ellie into believing she was their possum sister in order to take advantage of her protecting them.
In this movie, the villains are these prehistoric fish characters. They do not talk. You barely see them in the movie. You only see them like in the ending parts of the movie. That's it.
Joking. Or am I? I don't know. But all I know is this aspect of the plot is stupid. It doesn't
Yeah.
take up the whole movie, thankfully. But of course, we also gotta have misunderstandings
Yep.
and arguing between them. And Manny accidentally implies that he doesn't want to fuck her for pleasure. He's just doing it for the good of the species to avoid extinction. Yeah, throughout the whole movie, everyone keeps talking about how mammoths are practically extinct.
Yeah.
Manny and Ellie might be the last ones. But then out of nowhere, at the very end, a herd of mammoths show up, which means Manny and Ellie no longer have any moral obligation to fuck each other. But Manny still wants to be with her, which is weird. I didn't really feel like they had much chemistry over the course of the movie.
Because they really didn't have no chemistry. They had no chemistry until the end of the movie, till he saved her.
And I feel like they'd be better off as friends. But this is a 2000s animated movie, so we
Yeah.
gotta have romance.
At least with Shrek made sense because at least with Shrek, they both learn about each other for a long time. Then you actually feel that what they are
I just like how
to each other.
confesses his love to Ellie. All the other mammoths essentially clap for them by tooting their horns. That's a terrible cliche I never get tired of. At one point, Sid gets kidnapped by a tribe of mini sloths, and at the
Yeah,
end,
because in this movie, Sid had nothing to do. Sid, Diego, Sid got nothing to do in this movie either. He's just there.
I distinctly remember feeling marketed to by this scene. Like, this was definitely a prototype minion situation. It has no bearing on the plot and could be removed without anything changing.
Yep.
It's clearly just here to push these mini sloths as a potential mascot. But I don't know. The scene went in an unexpected direction that I thought was kind of funny, so whatever. The vultures sing "Food, Glorious Food" from Oliver for some reason. I don't know. I didn't hate that, surprisingly, even though I hate Oliver with a burning passion. Scrat is pretty good in this one, actually. The slapstick is solid, and he impacts the plot in a few ways, but not in stupid, over-the-top bullshit ways like in the later movies.
Yeah, because in this one he was trying to find a place for his nut, but it broke the ice. But the thing is that it took so long to the ice to break because it already was the audience has already been told that the the glacier that they were in the beginning of the movie was brought to break anyway. So this one I was fine with the squirrel character being here because it didn't really insult me like the other movies insulted me because he's just infecting everything. This one, he didn't really affect it. Yes, he broke the ice, but the thing is that it was about to break anyway because they already told you about it anyway.
Yeah, overall, I'm not really feeling this one. It just kind of feels like a watered down version of the first movie, except the animation and the scale of the story and climax. The movie genuinely looks really good for 2006, and the apocalyptic threat is definitely felt, but the new characters are kind of lame and annoying.
Yeah.
The old characters don't have nearly as much emotional weight to their storylines. The jokes are less good, the writing in general is less good. Oh well, at least it's not...
I haven't seen the first movie in years. I've seen the second one a couple of times, but not the first one. I don't know why I've never seen the first one a lot, even though the first one is better than every single one of the series. Let's see. This character is the worst cartoon character I have ever seen. Giving Scrat a love interest was a track point to the ISIS film jumping the shark. Every single cliche threat out there embodies this fucking character. She is the definition textbook of forcing heterosexuality personified. You can say the same thing to not fucking nowadays. Fucking nowadays. Now they forcing uh homosexuality and stuff too. They try to force back in the day they try to force heterosexuality, but now they try to force homosexuality, and no one people do not like either of the two because it's bad writing and they're not really building it up and at least make you feel that the characters like each other.
Ice Age 3, Dawn of the Dinosaurs, or Ice Age 4, Continental Drift, or Ice Age 5.
Number 4.
Yeah, robots! Woo! Bigwell! Hell yeah! Get up off of that thing, and maybe you'll feel better. Robots is such a strange fucking movie to talk about because it feels like it should simultaneously be better and worse than it actually is. I'm not even really sure what I think about it because it has so many unbelievably amazing elements mixed in with.
Yeah, it got good elements, then bad elements. I actually like Robots, the movie. I actually like this movie. It got good elements and bad elements. Because the bad ones are the comedy stuff. It got good elements because the main character, wants to be his hero, Bigwell. So he went to try to be an inventor, but he found out that his hero stepped down because this villain guy took over his company, and he has to help these old robots or broken robots not be interface. I forgot how you say it.
Typical generic kids movie stuff. Like, this movie has this tremendously profound commentary on how the rich will do anything in their power to make basic human rights like healthcare unobtainable to the lower class and will allow the poor to die out in the street. And then it also has an armpit fart contest. I think with some fine-tuning and further development of the story's anti-capitalist messages, this could have been like the magnum opus of Blue Sky Studios. Their one truly great movie.
Yeah, this one should have been there. I don't know what I was trying to say. This one should have been their better movie, but it wasn't.
But like, as is, the messages are there, they're compelling, but the story doesn't really do anything with them. Rodney becomes this icon helping the poor and dismantling the oppressive establishment they all live in. But then the movie drops that because he's got to go find Bigwell. And they're going to do wacky hijinks at this party.
Because now he was a hero, now he is saving people, now he has to go and find Bigwell for some reason.
There's a change, like, it's fine, but a little all over the place. They also definitely should have had Cappy meet Rodney way sooner, because as is, it feels like you could tweak the story a bit and remove her entirely.
Yeah, because you can't just remove her entirely. Because the problem is that they brought her in almost to the last part of the movie. Not in the middle part or half of a little bit in the beginning. No, they brought her there. They brought her into the ending part of the movie, like 30 minutes ending of the movie, you cause you gonna be like, why is she in this movie? To be his second love interest, almost like the almost like a almost like the other dude's sister character.
Robin Williams as Fender surprisingly isn't that great or memorable. He has some funny lines and moments, but overall, this is probably one of his weaker roles. Okay, that's enough complaining about robots. There's other good stuff, like motherfucking Big Weld. You know how I was kind of like meme praising Yummo Wickersham earlier? Well, that, but unironically, that's how I feel about Big Weld. It's Big Weld. He's so thick. He's voiced by Mel Brooks. Now, watching this as a 7-year-old, I didn't know who that was, but I could tell he was a big deal, and I could also tell the voice acting was really good. This is maybe the funniest joke in all of Blue Sky history.
I'm going in with you. You are? Hey, who's the dame with the sweet keister?
Yeah.
But why? I don't know. I'm a big guy and I like women with a large...
No. Like,
all
dude,
right.
That's so good. The misunderstanding.
I forgot about that
the voice
line.
acting from both of them. The fact that Big Weld is so upfront about his preference for big booty bitches, that's comedy, baby. How fucking cool is that domino scene for real?
I actually like the domino
How cool
scene.
is this world in general? Like, look at it. It's so imaginative and creative and whimsical, and it looks nothing like our own world. It looks like a place robots would live in. And they
Yeah.
actually put some thought into how robots age, with them needing new parts and new voice boxes. And
Then how they create babies and stuff.
cool.
It's really
Let's
what's
be
interesting.
honest with ourselves for a second here. Robots put way more thought into its world building and how the world affected the story than Cars.
Yeah, Cars.
it's just-
Yeah, if you want to watch a robot movie, you rather watch the actual robots movie than Cars. At least robots did something to their story than fucking Cars did.
It's a better movie in general. Like with Cars, you just have so many questions about how these car people work, and the world literally just looks like our world, but sometimes car themed. You
Yeah.
could do the story of the first Cars movie with humans, and it wouldn't make much of a difference. Meanwhile, with robots, you actually understand how they work, and the story actually ties into them being robots, and wouldn't make sense if they weren't robots. Just can we finally acknowledge that Pixar really shat the bed with Cars?
Yeah, it really did shut the bed with
It is
Cars.
popular and semi-respected because it has the Pixar name attached to it. Blue Sky deadass outdid Pixar in this respect. Plain and simple. Oh yeah, and the climax is so cool when all the outmodes show up, Avengers Endgame style, to fight Madame Gasket. Ooh, and Madame Gasket. Ooh man, what a
Mal Gasket, she's the main villain of the movie. This is her son.
dastardly
That's the
villain.
thing.
Ratchet's so funny too. The part where Fender kills them all to the Britney Spears song, man, it's so funny. Ooh,
So
and the camera
it was so
pans off.
stupid.
Oh, so
It was
great.
stupid but
And then the
funny.
ending,
It was.
Man, they get up off of that thing. Ooh, it's like a fusion of jazz and funk. It's called Junk Comedy Gold. This is so epic. Okay, I changed my mind. You know how I said I don't feel passionately about any Blue Sky movies? Well, this is the one. This is the only one that I feel passionately about. It has
Yeah.
its structural problems and many immature jokes.
Yes, it does have problems, but at least this movie was good enough to be like you can watch it a couple of times.
Drop some of its most compelling story elements halfway through. But man, it's just got so much good shit in it that I love. It genuinely stuck with me over the years. This is a movie with some real love and care behind it, and you can feel that. I can't realistically rank it higher because of its problems. I think the
Yeah.
top 3 are just fundamentally stronger movies. But come on, it's robots. It's kind of like how Tick Tick Boom was only number 8 on my best of 2021 list, but it's probably the movie I feel the most passionate about from last year. Imagine not feeling passionate about the movie that gave us Big Weld. Are you even alive if you don't like Big Weld? Come on. If necessary, I will fight Karsten Runquist for the title of #1 Robots Enjoyer. Our battle will be legendary. Actually, nah, he can have it. I'll stick with #1 Yummo Wickersham Enjoyer. Anyway, let's talk about 3 movies that are better than robots, but I don't care about as much as robots. Friends, I have talked a lot of shit about Ice Age today.
Yeah.
Can you blame me? It's
Well, we
absolute-
can't blame you because how it is. These movies should not ever existed in the first goddamn place. This is how it was.
absolutely asinine franchise.
The only movie you could actually watch is the first Ice Age.
That poisoned our water supply, burned our crops, and delivered a plague onto our houses. But with that said, honestly, the first one's kind of good. Like, yeah, the animation is ugly. It definitely has that studio's first CG movie.
Oh yeah, like almost like Toy Toy Story. You remember Toy Story? This dog character, it looks terrible. It came out when the first Ice Age movie came out in the 1990s or early 2000s. Okay, 2002. Okay, it came out in 2002. But it was a lot of good movies came out in 2002, even cartoon movies.
And there's your usual poop and pee jokes that suck as usual. But I think as a whole, this is a movie with some pretty smart character arcs and an engaging enough story. Manny and Sid in this are just blatantly Shrek and Donkey. But
yeah, it's just Shrek and Donkey.
The nuance that made that relationship so compelling and special. But Sid in this is perfectly fine, and Manny is actually kind of interesting. In this one really powerful scene, they explain without words that he lost his family to hunters.
Yeah.
And it becomes evident that he sees Ice Age Baby as someone he needs to protect in order to make up for his loss. I really like the wordless storytelling here. He never even mentions his family by name, but his pain and remorse is still made explicitly clear. It's really neat. The star of the show here, however...
It was Diego. Diego was the star in the show.
Surprisingly enough, Diego. I say surprisingly enough because he never has any compelling characterization in any of the four.
In this one, he has a character development because when he was in a villain group, now he's a good person. Good person now.
Sequels that followed this movie. But here, he legitimately goes from a villain trying to lead Manny, Sid, and Ice Age Baby to their death to someone who genuinely learns to care for them and ends up saving their lives. It's incredibly well-paced and believable. Plus, when he reveals he was lying to them, they don't mope about it and kick him out of the herd. They end up believing that he wants to help since he has nothing to gain from admitting to them that he lied. It's a pretty refreshing subversion of the liar reveal trope, made all the more potent by the fact that he legitimately went from a villain to a hero over the course of the film. The other villainous saber-toothed tigers are just kind of whatever.
Yeah.
The climax, which is a little awkwardly staged for some reason. But I really like the other set pieces in this movie. The sliding scene is fun, and the dodo bird encounter is really funny, which is not something I could say about almost every other scene in the other Ice Age movies. I don't know, man. This one's kind of neat. Not amazing, but honestly, pretty.
It's just the problem was the animation. The animation was the problem, but the whole story itself was just the whole story itself was good, but it's just the animation part. It was just a little bit down. When it came out to 2002, we kind of just accepted it.
Pretty good first movie for a studio to make. Oh, also, I never got why everyone hated the Ice Age Baby a couple years back.
I think it was just the animation as well. I always wonder why everyone hated this baby. I think it was just the animation, how ugly the animation was.
Yeah, that baby. Am I right?
Because I never hated this character because it's like she's just there so Manny can protect her.
I want peanuts.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of hard to hate the Peanuts movie. This is consistently ranked as one of Blue Sky's best, if not the best.
I thought this was going to be number one. I'm surprised it's not number one. So Spies in Disguise is the number one best movie, Blue Sky. So they lied. So Blue Sky last movie, Spies in Disguise, was their best movie. You know, the whole Blue Sky movie franchise. I never seen Spies in Disguise with Tom Holland and I did with Tom Holland and Will Smith.
Film from them, and it's easy to see why. I think this film mostly deserves credit not for what it does, but for what it doesn't do. It doesn't try to modernize it or throw these.
Yeah, it didn't modernize it. They didn't modernize Peanuts. It treated like a actual Peanut. It treated like the original Peanuts. It treated like the original Peanuts series and the Charlie Brown series and stuff. It treated like that. It didn't modernize it like all these other movies nowadays. If Smurf didn't modernize its movies, it would have been fine. But because they had to modernize shit, that's why it was bad. Because a lot of people came to these movies just to get out the real world. People don't want to bring the real world into movies and TV shows because people don't like the real world. It's just how it is.
To the real world, it doesn't cast terrible, overpaid celebrities as iconic, beloved characters, completely bastardizing them in the process. It doesn't turn this property into a weird superhero
Oh, yeah.
crossover thing that has nothing to do with the
That's what they've been doing to Scooby-Doo for a long time. I don't know why. The problem with Scooby-Doo is that they keep putting Scooby-Doo in these crossovers. I don't know why. Why they keep making Scooby-Doo in these crossover movies? Here's the thing. I don't like it. I don't care about it. It did with WWE. I didn't like it when they did in WWE. I didn't like it. I just don't like them doing crossovers. Scooby-Doo is fine when it's just Scooby-Doo doing it's just doing their own mysteries and stuff. It's just being themselves, but not modernizing it and putting like crossovers.
Seriously, what the fuck was Scoob? It deadass just is a classic feeling Peanut story brought to life with 3D animation. I don't know why it's so hard for studios to understand and adapt the appeal of classic properties, but this is an actual example.
Because they just want to modernize shit, that's all. They just don't want to treat the things like their original, how their original stories are. They just want to modernize shit. And people don't like modernizing stuff. I like the Sonic 2 movie, even though there's so much modern stuff in it, but I still like it.
That sort of thing done right. I really like this movie, but I feel like its praise can be a bit overblown sometimes, mainly because the rest of Blue Sky's tepid filmography makes it look a shit ton better by comparison. Like, I saw a comment once that said that this is Blue Sky's Spider-Verse. Has that person even seen Spider-Verse? Like, what? This is a
I never seen Spider-Verse, but I'm not going to say this is not the Spider-Verse of. I'm not going to say the Peanut movie is the Blue Sky of the Spider-Verse. I'm not going to say that. I still never seen the Spider-Verse, even though the second movie's coming out. I just don't have time to watch the movie.
Very sweet and cozy film, but it's definitely not perfect. They do sneak in
like I do not have time to sometimes play games or make reaction videos.
Weird out of place pop song during the movie, which really took me out of what otherwise felt like an authentic Peanut story. I did want more of some characters. And Patty and Marcy. Even Linus gets sidelines pretty hard, which is surprising. And I'm gonna keep it real with you, Chief. I could not give less of a shit about Snoopy's Red Baron dream sequences. They start off cute, but they just go on, and there's so many of them during the second half that it's ridiculous. I know this is an imaginary story, guys. There's no tension here. Can we cut back to Charlie Brown? That's the part I'm actually interested in. But yeah, the Charlie Brown story is good and really compelling. You just really want him to catch a break and impress the little red-haired girl. And while it's sad to see all his missteps, it's nice that most of them happen because he does the right thing and helps his friends. Charlie Brown is just such an honest, pure character, and this movie really gets that. Like, there's a scene where everyone's praising Charlie Brown at this assembly because he got a perfect score on his test. But it turns out he accidentally put his name on the wrong one, and this is actually Peppermint Patty's. So what does he do? He comes clean about it right then and there when he realizes it. Whereas every other shitty-ass kids movie would have...
Oh, yeah. Oh, Shark Tales. Oh, boy. How, the Will Smith character, I forgot what his name is, that he took credit for killing the shark, even though he didn't even kill the shark. It was so dumb.
Why? Because he likes the attention. And then eventually the liar will be...
I forgot this Ant movie did the same thing.
Revealed, and everyone will hate him, and then he'll realize he was wrong. No, none of that bullshit in Peanuts, thankfully. This isn't Dear Evan Hansen. Yeah, I mean, it's the Peanuts movie. What else is there to say?
I don't like movies like that, how the character wants so much attention, then it came out that he'd been lying, then everyone in the end started liking him now. It's so much of a cliche too. I don't like it.
Sweet, it's wholesome as heck. I loved all the little references to other Peanut stories they put in there. It's just a very nice movie. The story does feel a bit stretched out and not all of it works, but the stuff that does is very charming. Definitely worth a watch.
Number 1, Spice in Disguise.
I know, right? What the fuck? Please forgive me, Lord, for I have sinned. But I just
never seen this movie. Never seen it.
Really liked the Will Smith Pigeon movie. I remember when the trailer for this thing dropped, and everyone was so blown away by how cool all the spy stuff looked, myself included. And then he turns himself into a pigeon. Funniest shit I've ever seen. Yeah, talk about a movie that looked like it had so much potential, only to flush all that down the drain with such a dumb premise. So I didn't check it out until I had to make this list, and I am deeply beyond shocked to report that this was kind of good, actually. Obviously, the best part is the very beginning when it does feel like a legit spy film. Like, this shit is really well animated and choreographed and exciting.
It got good
It feels
animations.
nothing like anything Blue Sky's ever made before, and it's pretty wild tonally. Like, did you ever expect to hear the Yakuza mentioned in a kid's film? Because they sure do mention them here. This shit is actually great, and Will Smith is a pretty charismatic spy guy. Then, of course, we got...
Yeah, people don't know what the Yakuza is. It's the Japanese mafia.
Gotta get to the pigeon shit, and this is where I expected the movie to go downhill hard. But, I don't know, man. It's not nearly as good, but it's still pretty fun. Like, the dynamic between Will Smith and Tom Holland is charming, and I like how they have to rely on each other while also trying to come...
Because I think Tom Holland and Will Smith been playing movies together, I think, like a couple of
and
times.
understand each other's perspectives. How Tom Holland is a pacifist who likes to rely on goofy weapons, while Will Smith just wants to kill people. Yeah, this movie has no problem killing people and mentioning how many people Will Smith killed. It's kind of cool, actually. We do have typical poop and pee and shit and gross jokes, because of course we do, and those suck.
It's a kids movie.
But I feel like it could have been way worse. Like, there's these pigeons who bond with Will Smith Pigeon and help him out, and thankfully, they don't talk. I feel like this was the perfect opportunity for Blue Sky to add in more shitty, annoying celebrities.
Oh,
I guess
yeah.
they just figured the two charming ones they had were enough. So these sidebirds are completely silent.
I'm glad that they just Will Smith and just Tom Holland instead of bringing other celebrities to play like these random pigeon characters just to be there. I'm glad they didn't do that.
Perfect. Silence is bliss. Shut the fuck up, Slug from Epic. You're so annoying. Oh my god. The villain isn't great, unfortunately. They definitely could have developed his backstory a little bit more. And the ideological conflict he presents doesn't really feel earned. Also, he frequently disguises himself as Will Smith, which,
Is that fucking blackface, dude?
I also feel like while the action set pieces are mostly pretty great throughout the whole movie, the last one during the climax is a little muddled and all over the place, but it's not bad. Aside from the terrible lowest common denominator humor, a lot of the jokes in this were actually kind of funny and made me laugh. Tom Holland's character is kind of a big screw-up, but he's not frustrating to watch. They actually execute that archetype in an engaging way that makes you kind of feel for him. That whole pigeon shtick isn't too bad, honestly, and they resolve it before the third act, so we actually get to see Will Smith as a human again. That's pretty nice. Yeah, I can't believe I'm saying this, but Spies in Disguise is indeed a good movie in spite of its faults. And I extremely can't believe I'm saying this, but I consider it to be the best Blue Sky movie. It's a 7 out of 10. This is Blue Sky's peak.
Yeah, damn. This is Blue Sky's peak, a 7 out of 10 movie, not like an 8 or 9, or maybe not 8 or 9. It's just a 7 out of 10. It's just a decent movie. It's just a decent movie. It's just a good, decent movie. That's it. This is their peak. That's all they have. See, this is terrible because Blue Sky, when Blue Sky started, 2002? Because I think Ice Age was their first movie. And do all their shit. This is their peak, this movie.
I guess it's nice that they went out with somewhat of a bang, peaking at the very end of their life. But, like, if you're familiar with my ranking videos, I think you can tell something felt weird about this, right? I'm usually a lot more emotionally invested in the movie I'm giving the top spot to, really singing its praises, maybe even saying what a life-changing, wonderful experience it was for me. Here, this movie is kinda good. Number 1, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know, man. This wasn't this wasn't anything, really. I just didn't feel much for the studio watching the vast majority of their movies. But at the end of the day, they made a couple good things and
really bad ones.
One, that being Bigwell.
It's the big boy.
Also, robots in general, I guess. It's a phenomenal movie. I love it. 6 out of 10. While I'm still mostly indifferent to the studio's closure, I guess it is kind of a shame because they were starting to get better towards the end here. And maybe they were on track to eventually get good enough to make their very own Spider-Verse. Just a phenomenal movie that shocks everyone and turns the entire world of animation on its head. If they had to make some inoffensive mediocrity in between, so be it, I guess. They weren't really hurting anybody.
Yeah, that's what happened to the last studio.
Their next film, Nimona, based on a popular webcomic from the creator of the She-Ra reboot, would have been their magnum opus. Or maybe it would have been another epic.
It would have been like Sony Animation where yeah, it would have almost been Sony Animation where they had the emotion movie. Then the Spy-Verse came out and it helped the Sony Animation movie company because of that movie.
It has gay people, so Disney's never going to finish it. That's such a shame. It would have been nice to see Blue Sky finally find their footing and become a respected name in the animation industry, much like Sony is starting to be. But there's plenty of other studios out there, and the immediate future for animation does look bright. Maybe now I should rank one of those bright looking studios, like oh wait, I guess I already ranked Pixar, DreamWorks, Sony, and a couple decades of Disney. I wonder what else is left in the realm of American animated films.
I'm interested what the other franchise are. Illuminate, Illuminate, Minions movie company. I knew it. I fucking knew it. I saw it has to be Illuminations, the Minions ones. I'm like, is it? I'm like, it has to be. I'm like, I knew it. He's gonna do the Minions. Yeah. How many movies did Illuminations make in the since they've been around? Let's see. Let's wait. So yeah, they made a ton of Minions movies. Okay, they got the two Sing movies. I know they got that dog movie. Oh, let me look at. Okay, they got the Hobbs movie. They got that Lorax movie. Okay, they got the Secret Lives of Pets 1 and 2. They got that Dr. Seuss The Grinch movie. Most of it is just Despicable Me and a couple of two Dr. Seuss and the two Pets movies. Then that House movie. Then the group movie coming out when they gonna talk about how Group became a villain. Okay, we had to talk about the Minions next. But I hope y'all enjoy this video. I don't know why it took me so long to make this video. I actually like this video. It's not that long than the others because this one is just very short. Because 13 movies, not long. Blue Sky, you've been here for so long, but you made a couple of mediocre movies. Some couple of them was just 7, 6 out of 10. I like the Robots movie, one of my favorites. I like the Peanuts movie. I just never seen the Spy movie. But I hope y'all enjoy this video. If y'all like this, you like I forgot how you pronounce his name. You like his videos and stuff too, go to his channel because he makes a lot of good videos. And I will see you guys later next time. And I will see next time and say goodbye. That's all I have to say. I don't script my shit. It's just me just saying stupid shit. That's all I have to say.